Hi, everybody. Welcome to Minerals Monday Live. Tonight is Goofy for Garnets. That's right. And for all the new subscribers, hello, my name is Alexia. It's wonderful to meet you. We have a large influx of new people, so it's great to see you all. I'm a healer and a psychic, and my specialty is Bowen therapy from the Academy in Australia. Okay, it's my fascia work, soft tissue specialist. So to begin today, I want to read you a special little section from my daily Portland news, but let me get a sip of water here because we're just starting. Where's my water? Somebody didn't bring my water. Thought I had it set up here. Okay. Because I work extensively with animals, and why this is important is because coronaviruses are common in dogs. If you're not familiar with coronaviruses, there's thousands of different kinds, and dogs are what's known as a vector species, okay? And what that means is they carry it and they have the coronavirus in their system, but it doesn't do anything to them. I mean, it literally does nothing. And the reason why is because the genomes, which carry the RNA, not the DNA, the RNA and the RDA specifically, the RDA sequencing in the genome in order for the pathogen to replicate. Now, we know that a virus does not grow. It replicates by pulling a molecule from its host. And so that's why when people quote unquote catch it, it's because the replication on the RDA string is able to continue. And if that stops, then boom, it won't keep pulling those host subatomic particles, usually off the oxygen molecule in the soft tissue. So the reason why I know so much about coronaviruses in dogs is because I work on dogs. I'm a veterinary tech, and I have a lot of dogs come in with hip dysplasia, post-surgery, GI disorders, and I give them Bowen treatments. Yeah, and they get better super fast. Now, the point I'm making about the coronaviruses in dogs is that we as humans never, ever catch it from our dog. And also, we do not pass it, okay? We do not pass it to a dog. Why? Because it's not a zoonotic. It is not an interspecies zoonotic, okay? An example of a zoonotic disease is rabies, okay? So before the dog can pass a human rabies, the dog itself must be infected, because if the dog's healthy, it can't give you rabies. Obviously, I know that sounds silly, but not every dog at every moment has every coronavirus. They just come and go. They sniff them up. It's nothing to them. Okay. Literally, because once again, the canine does not have the RDA sequencing in their genome DNA in order for the coronavirus to replicate it cannot replicate. So therefore, a dog is a vector species for coronaviruses. Does that mean we catch the coronavirus from a dog? No, absolutely not. Doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay. In order to transmit from an animal to a human, there must be what is called a zoonotic transmission protocol. And essentially what that means is if the dog is rabid and it bites the human and it goes into the bloodstream from the saliva, okay? Even if a rabid dog just scratches you, you will not have a zoonotic disease transmission because it does not meet the zoonotic transmission disease protocol, which means that when the dog bites the human or another canine species which gets rabies and coronaviruses a lot are raccoons, and they are predator species, and foxes, they're all canines. The fox or the raccoon has to be in a fight and bite each other, and then the saliva goes into the bloodstream. Now, that's how a human can catch rabies from a rabid dog, which is why any dog bite, the SPCA will immediately quarantine and test the dog who bit the human to test to make sure it's not, it's negative. So it cannot transmit zoonotic because the bite will have the saliva go into the bloodstream. Okay, so now this is why I'm gonna had to have that as a little precursor, because I am adept and certified 5 times over. I know you guys know that in holistic medicine. So it's great to meet everybody. Hi, Secret Zelda. Hi, Connie. Hello, Cardomancy. Kate. Oh, Kate, love you. I love you all. This is just awesome having a huge influx of new people from mostly these other great channels. Okay, so we all know who they are. So today I'm going to talk about the reality of vaccinating for a coronavirus. Okay, just the basic science. We're not talking theory. This is factual, and why there's never been a cure ever for a common cold. Okay, the same deal. And this is from the newspaper source. Okay, I don't want to say exactly where because of security purposes, but for the vet, we'll just say it's from Portland. Okay, and this is the emergency response team who has put together this scientific article. Because I don't have a doctorate in medicine, I let the other guys talk for me. Okay. There has never been a vaccine for any kind of coronavirus. Current reports suggest that if a vaccine is developed for COVID-19, it will likely not be available to anyone until sometime next year at the earliest. It would likely not be available to everyone until much later, and that may be the good news. The one piece of bad news is that it is unclear whether a vaccine against COVID-19 would provide any ongoing immunization. This may be evident to anyone who has had a cold before, since colds are caused by a coronavirus. Okay, so no surprise, COVID-19 shows no indication of being any different. The best way to stop it is from spreading to reduce the possibility. Okay, so the reason why is they're saying adequate testing and contact tracing is not available at this time. Okay, so it doesn't go into the science, but it's just reality. And it has nothing to do about pro-vax or anti-vax or anything like that. It's specifically because every year, you may not know this, the World Health Organization receives over 3,000 to 4,000 requests for a pandemic. And very rarely does WHO actually declare one. All right, because every day there are hundreds of new mutations that form on planet Earth. And not only that, if you think about the larger bionomy of the biosphere of Earth and what would happen if man actually eliminated all coronaviruses, that would be an absolute imbalance of the ecosystem, and we have no idea what effect that would have on the ecosystem. So that, to be perfectly honest, is not a healthy aspiration, to just rid the planet of all quote unquote disease. Okay, you guys, that's just not healthy thinking. Okay. All right. Okay. Hi, Jima. So, what hot topics do you guys? Oh, hi, Ocean. What hot topics? Oh, we're talking garnets. And let's for sure start with this this beautiful Rajasthan. Okay, this is a Rajasthan from India, and it's huge. You see this? It's huge. It's like got the deepest, oh my God, you can see it on the side start to pull some of the deepest blood red. And garnet is the warrior stone. It is used for taking action and accomplishing things. It is more than a protection. You don't need any other stone when you've got garnet, because it is the sacred stone of the warrior. Now, the 5 elementals that it affects on the energy is the blood. It is especially good for opening blood, such as things like varicose vein, blood clots, aneurysms, just the blood flow, the thickening and the thinning, the arteries, that whole system. This is about a 2 carat stone, slightly over 2 carats, and I can literally tell the difference when I'm wearing this one and my blood just being properly hydrated. So some of the things to watch for right now are going to be dehydration, okay, UTI, okay, and also coronary symptoms, hypothermia, and other heart and pulmonary. This is a complete strengthening zone for the sacred warriors. In the olden times, when the gladiators and the warriors would come back from the battle, they would place the garnet stones on them, big chunks, because garnets are easy to find. They're almost everywhere. Now let's talk about a huge variety of garnets, because I'm just goofy for garnets, and we're going to go on all day. And then give me, hi everybody, give me some suggestions, Jima, which questions we're going to focus on for our world politics today. One of the definite questions we're going to ask is, will Congress meet? Because I think they're supposed to get back in session on the 24th. I think I heard that Adam Schiff, look at that. Donald Trump has trained me to call that guy Adam Schiff. That's horrible. Gosh. Okay, the Congress is supposed to reconvene on Monday, August 24th, to have a hearing. I don't know if they're doing a jury investigation into Louis DeJoy. Did I get his name right? Because obviously, every single piece of social media op-ed is to distract us from the fact that I do know Wisconsin a little bit, what's going on there. It is different by state. I understand that this is actually real. Okay, this is beyond just the postal office. I think, don't quote me on the exact numbers, but in the state of Wisconsin, 3 things happened like in the last 5 days. Kanye West filed to be on the ballot, so he's on there, and under the Republican as a Republican candidate for president in the state of Wisconsin and like 4 other states. But focusing on Wisconsin, in the meantime, they closed 144 polling places. Don't quote on me exactly. And I understand 8 are left standing. Okay. So, and then meanwhile, Louis DeJoy, which actually is a separate thing, but both is the same intention, which is voter suppression, essentially, started taking out the sorting machines. And it turns out that Adam Schiff, who is a House of Representative for the state of California, and a congressman, I think he called for a reconvenience on August 24th, which is historic because Congress has never met the last week of August, like ever, for an emergency investigation and to Louis DeJoy. Did I get that right? Now, the Kanye thing, where I found out that the reason why, and he's been meeting with Jared almost daily, is because the plot or the plan or whatever is to take away votes from Democrats. So they want to split the vote in Wisconsin between Trump and Kanye or something like that. That sounds lame, you guys. But anyways, that's what's up. And they closed 140 or something, over 100 of the polling places. They canceled the polling places in Wisconsin and have 8 left standing as of today. So we need to reopen the polls. The polling places need to actually be open on election day. People will come and vote in person. Not that many people. A lot of people have a handed on a coronavirus like me. I work with coronaviruses. It's like no big deal. I could handle doing that sort of a thing. Going out and voting, just like going to the grocery store, you guys. Okay, so we need to especially focus on Wisconsin because I guess that's considered a swing state or something. All right, so that's why it's important. Now, I also have Glenn Kirshner, who's been actually reading my comments at this point because he acknowledged that I exist. Attorney Glenn Kirshner. He mentioned that being a viewer is more than you think. It's not just about being a content producer. The fact that you show up on these channels, view them, put like buttons on, and take time away from the other canine channel with the ears, FOX, actually makes a difference, you guys. YouTube and the channel providers notice it, and they log all this data because I'm a data scientist. Okay, so one of the first things and best thing you can do is anytime that you see something in your feed that you know is an op-ed, like just some bogus BS or whatever that you want to put like a Pizzagate or a Obamagate or whatever, the way to stop it is do not hover over the post, because they will track if you're just reading the post, okay? If it comes up, do not click. They're really looking for a click. Do not click to read it. Just forget about it. Don't even click. And then, because that's called clickbait, they want to see how many people fall for it to read the thingy, okay? Don't do it. Don't hover. And if you want, on YouTube, there's this little set of dots right on the side of the post, and you could say not interested if you don't like the topic, okay? And if you don't like the channel, like they send you some QAnon stuff and you don't want to see it, I swear to God, they will send you this stuff right now. Just say, don't recommend this channel. And then they'll put 4 more posts up from that same channel, I swear to God. Or like, I got something from like Rebel HQ or something. I don't want to hear some like Duck Dynasty weirdo giving me his political opinion. You go, don't recommend this channel. If you don't want, and you have to do it like 3 or 4 times to the same channel. Like if you see that channel pop up, immediately go again and again, hit that button. Don't recommend this channel, because how the YouTube sends stuff out is it's on the recommendation. So when people scroll down, like they don't know what to watch, like here's something interesting. Okay, they're not gonna put political churro. Okay, you guys, they're gonna put like duck weirdo, rebel, Dixie guy. And so literally it matters because they're watching this stuff. And we like killed Obamagate that way because nobody watched it. I'm like, don't watch it. Just skip. Like when you're scrolling, just if you see something like that, take the scroll button and just go woo, just like fly past it so that it doesn't capture it as a view. I'm not kidding. When you see it like underneath coming up, get rid of it because every single thing you see that's recommended right now is an op-ed. Okay? Everything. They either want your vote this way or that way. Oh, our first hot topic. Oh, and stay for the Umbra Garnet section because this is a rare Umbra Garnet. Look, it's in the Smithsonian and it's from a river valley in Tanzania. Like you can't even get one. You can never find an Umbra Garnet. There's 60 in the world and I've got 2 of them. All right, that are outside the Smithsonian. That's it. If you want to see the rest, go to the Smithsonian. That's how rare and how valuable they are. Okay. Oh, how many garnet types? There are so many colors. Comaria. Let's talk about your favorite color garnet. What's your favorite color? Because they come in so many colors. Did you know there's tangerine garnet? It's like a screaming yellow orange. There's Tsavorite, which is like a lime green neon. It's incredible. And it's spelled TSA, Tsavorite. And then there's an extremely rare one. And the most expensive of all garnets is the demontoid. And it's a green garnet. And it is a very expensive. It's like thousands of dollars for a rock. Oh my God. And they're green garnets. Okay, there's tangerine garnets. There's the brownish red garnets. There's purple, comaria. What's your favorite color, Ocean? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color of garnet, you guys? I like the deep blood red because I'm using them for all the guys who just showed up. Thanks for the likes, everyone, and thank you to all the newcomers. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself in the chat. Okay, is the blood. It's a blood strengthener and it's the warrior stone. So it gives us the strength to do what we need to do. Now we've been doing color meditation that start with red, goes up to orange, and then we did yellow and gold. But I'm telling you guys, this is a Uranus retrograde. You do not want to move up to green and blue right now. We are getting slammed with an icy cold blue Uranus retrograde, and that planet does 84, it takes 84 Earth solar cycles in order for Uranus to make one solar cycle. It's the lifetime planet because technically Pluto's not a planet. Something about it is not actually planet. It's like the largest outer planet. Okay. And it is now like a Uranus retrograde takes all the other retrogrades and pushes it to the curb, and it's named after the Greek god Uranos, okay, which is Greek. It's father of Saturn in the gods. Okay, so like it's the ultimate karmic makeover. Nobody gets a pass. There is no free ticket on this one, baby. Everybody gets it, right? And let us please send blessings to my uncle. He's in Asia right now, and he is passing into the next world. He is losing his life at this very moment, okay? And let's not be sad. It's okay. He's aged and he's ready to go, but let's help him and give him blessings that my uncle is passing today. And this is very hard on my dad. I think you guys know that. So it's his last sibling is passing today. So let's send blessings to my dad and give condolences to my dad. And once again, my uncle's family. He'd had no family and no heirs. So, he probably has a huge benefit. He's going to pass to the ashram where he lived. He went to live for decades doing prayers and to purge his soul so that he could pass to heaven when he died, because unfortunately before that he had done bad things, unfortunately. So he is redeemed. Hallelujah. He made the cause to make it to heaven. So yay. Thank you, Uncle, for doing that. I'm so glad you went to live in an ashram and purge your soul before you. He's leaving right now. I know. Let's send prayers to my dad. This is hard on my dad. My dad is the youngest sibling. So this makes him the dynasty now, the head. So hopefully he will make it through 2020. He's so aged now that we need to pray for my dad to make it to 2021. He's got something to live for, his grandkid, my daughter. I swear to God, he lives. I'm like, Grandpa, you'd better live till Christmas because she's coming down in the airplane. Well, we better figure this out or we'll ship her in a box if necessary. So he's got something to live for, his youngest grandkid, Mike. That's right. All right. Yay. Oh, yeah, it's a convention tonight. Thanks, Kate. And I do appreciate all your viewers, so maybe we will keep it extra short here and not do the color meditation and go back and forth from the convention. So let's look at the convention. Let's ask, will Congress reconvene to investigate Louis DeJoy? That's important, because if we want to get rid of DeJoy, we must get all the senators back in session for an emergency session on the post office, because they cannot dismantle our voting system. This is so extreme at this point. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Glenn Kirshner said that it's a violation of the law and not just the U.S. Constitution. And the law that DeJoy broke was when he messed with the property, because a mail sorting machine is government property. When he removed the machine out of the USPS, because he's been removing the sorting machines, that is a violation. He does not have the authority to remove USPS government federal property from the government. That's right, not without Congress's permission. And so they better get back there and indict him, because that's no. And they better do it quick, because it's a time thing. So yes, so the question we're asking, and thank you, gods and goddesses, for attending to the ill ones, to my uncle who needs you. So we'll send the archangels elsewhere tonight and ask them to go where they need to be, which is at the convention, and also at my uncle's side as he passes. All right, and I'm not sad about it. It's just a positivity thing. All right. Okay, because I have a huge family, you guys. It's just been the year for everybody to leave, and I'm okay with that. But not my dad. We want my dad to stick around. That's right, because he's got to be here for Christmas so he can see his grandkid. That's right. Amen. And just an extra reminder, aside from the Uranus retrograde, tonight is the dark moon Lilith, which is a time of extreme weakness for many aspects, but for us is a huge energetic meaning, because when we send prayers during the time of no moon, this is a dark moon, there is technically no moon, because the sun and the moon are now so close together that we cannot, Earth is not involved. It's a sun and moon dance, and Earth is not involved. And so on this dark moon, which is prior to, and we're going to be setting our prayers and intentions tomorrow on Z Queen's channel. Thank you, the Queen's Tarot, and everyone from Queen's Tarot. Shout out to the Queen who's going to go live tomorrow. And we're going to set the new moon intention. Tonight is the dark moon. Okay, this is the moon of the Lilith. Okay, this is the germination. Okay, so the seed has to have just one moment of darkness. That's right, inside the soil, in that moist soil, to just before it germinates, you've got to put the seed in. All right, so the question is, will Adam Schiff and Congress meet to investigate the criminal, not just criminal action, because it is criminal. That's right. If I went into the post office and I took an envelope that wasn't for public distribution, and I just went in there and I took one of their machines out, I'd be in federal prison, not in jail. That is a federal offense. Okay, so let's get the cards. Okay. Whoa. They just fell out. Oh no, it's the King of Swords, the bad boy that's back. I had the hugest reading for the thanks you guys for watching those videos, because like I said, it matters to the darn YouTube machines. And think of it like the internet is a giant one of those. I hate to say it Nigerian because I love Nigeria, and don't get me wrong, because you know I'm friends with them majorly. But some of them are bad boys, and they do those Nigerian scams, naughty boys. And it's like those guys calling you up on the phone to try to scam you for your taxes thing. Okay, that's this guy. That's this guy. And I said that the big thing that was happening on the 14th, because all the numbers that have been coming up, I do the numerology, not so much the astrology. So the numbers all come out. It's been 14, 14, 14. And on January 14th, put it down, people, is the date that Uranus comes out of the retrograde. And we're going to be having our election in the shadow. And this is not so much a generational planet. It is a lifespan planet. So it's about every human being's individual lifespan. Okay. The question, will Adam Schiff get those folks back in Congress? Is Congress going to have an emergency session in August, which is never done before? It's a precedent. I have to admit, this looks kind of interesting, you guys. This is a very mixed set of cards. This is the Essence card, is a 10 of Pentacles. This is somebody actually walking away with the votes. Okay. So in order to call Congress into session, yes, Adam Schiff gets the votes, and he makes the agreement to open and reconvene. Okay? That's good. Okay? The man in charge. This would be the majority leader of the House of Representatives. That would be him. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little slow tonight. It's like 100 degrees here, you guys. I'm in my amphibious clothes. This is the 10 of, okay, the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Staffs, which means a complete group of senators. That means everyone's called. Everybody has to show up. It's mandatory. They don't have a choice. You are called back into session. No wimping around about it. Mitch and Lindsay and Devin, little guys. No grown-up's going to put up with that baby attitude from the Congress, because this is about Congress. At this very moment, they're working agreements. This is the House and the Senate, because the Republicans and the Democrats aren't so much what this is about. This is about America and the Congress. It's the Senate, okay, who's in charge of the House. So what this is saying is Adam is in the submission position to the leader of the Senate, which is Mitch McConnell, okay, regarding the outcome of this emergency session, okay? And this is it. Yes, they decide that it's too extreme. And this is the reason why. And I will throw a couple of cards so you guys understand. When you mess with the vote, this is tampering. This is voter tampering. This is taking voting machines out of This is like, yeah, taking the sorting machines, this is closing the polls in Wisconsin and walking away and leaving everybody high and dry. Okay, once again, Louis DeJoy did not just violate the United States Constitution with the intent of interfering in a presidential election. He broke the law. You're not allowed to remove federal property. That's a federal crime. So this is him tampering. This is him tampering. And when you tamper with the vote, this is a reverse death card. Okay. This is a reverse death card. Okay. So this is the resurrection. Okay. So what they're saying is, oh, this is really good. Thank you, universe, for sending me a reverse death card. That means they're going to have to put the machines back in. They have to put them back. You know, they're machines. If you rip them out, you can put them back in. You can reinstall them. The sorting machines in the post office. That's right. They're not allowed to kill the sorting machines in the post office. Okay? And once again, it's blood being spilled. This is a bloodbath, you guys. When you tamper with the vote, it doesn't just take down your opposition. It takes your own set of constituents out. Not only do you kill the Democrats' vote, you kill the Republicans' vote. That's bad. See that? You can't just leave these co-opted people left to vote. It not only hurts the Republican Party, it hurts the Democratic Party, it hurts the democracy, and it hurts the members of Congress. And if they don't reinstall those sorting machines at the post office, it's going to hurt Mitch McConnell's voting bloc because they won't be able to vote for him. They can't just not vote for Amy McGrath. They also cannot vote for Mitch McConnell because at this point, folks, I'm going to be really putting the scrutiny and the screws to Congress. The reason why Glenn Kirshner I've been watching his videos, and he said on Monday he's going to be calling and writing all his congressmen and telling them to get back in session on the Louis DeJoy, that they cannot interfere with the mail, that they cannot mess with the mail. Okay, now here's another thing. Not only, and this is another point. Oh yeah, they're sabotaging themselves. It's messing with the military vote. The military vote, our active service members can only vote by mail. What Donald Trump is doing is trying to eliminate the military vote. And the reason why is, and we all know this, and I'm going to be uploading my next video, when the clock turns at noon, 12:00:01, which means the second, not the minute, after the clock goes to noon in Washington, D.C., all the codes for the presidency automatically switch, and only the Secret Service has access to them until the new president is inaugurated. And if Donald Trump thinks that he's going to delay the results of the election, guess what? He doesn't get to be the president at that second. The military, not the Secret Service, the branch of the military is sworn to the office of the presidency. And at that moment, regardless of the outcome of the election, all the nuclear codes switch. That's right. And the military comes in to depose the standing, basically expired term of the former president at that very second, okay? And it switched to an interim president. So all these readings about us getting an interim president, it is within the realm of possibility that if it happened, I have not found in my cards it would happen before January. I have not read in January yet. So technically, right at that moment, that's when it goes to the interim president. They could reinstate Donald Trump after they do their investigation into the election, since he claims he's going to say that we don't know who won, but that won't retain his office of the presidency. Okay, so I'm going to do a special reading this week about will the military follow the orders to the nuclear code, and they're sworn to the office of the president. They're not going to support anyone who's not commander-in-chief, because at that very second, technically Donald Trump is not commander-in-chief, even though he might have some illusion or delusion that he might be, because he's made it so clear he's not leaving. Oh, thank you, Connie, for and thank you everyone for the prayers last week at the Golden Barrel show, at the Heliodor show, because it turns out we were all talking about getting a cat, me having a cat, and somebody that very day, that's right, and this is my intuition on it, because I'm an animal psychic. I actually do have animals bring me messages. Like, I will be sitting somewhere and a wild animal will literally come up to me and talk in my face, just like that. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, nobody has that. Like a coyote, a full-grown one, or a bobcat, a gigantic one. I've had huge herons just hang out with me for hours and look at me in the face. I'm like, this doesn't happen to normal people. This is not that. I'm like, this is not normal. But they talk to me. I have birds fly in my face and talk to me. Literally. I have cats come up to me and start. So this is my take on it. We sent the prayers, right? We sent the prayers. Oh, yeah, I know. You might have to wait a week or so because we have to still go get her an integrator and all of that. What is it? Let me see. Okay. This is my intuition on her. They said some lady came in from a hotel. She's not a person with a home. And she surrendered a stray animal who was, and this is my intuition on it, liked this Motel 6 kind of atmosphere. And I would not be surprised if the cat is from the parking lot of Motel 6, because I know the parking lots for the motels in this town. And there's this one motel that has these, it's like people dump their cats there. It's really horrible. And I think what happened is this cat, because it's not a kitten, and I was very specific, I do not want a kitten, was basically living in the parking lot, because we know from the food it ate, it was eating garbage, literally, like candy bar wrappers and stuff. We found inside, like plastic and stuff we found in its gut. And so, poor baby, she's had a sore belly, but she'll be fine now. She's eating cat food. It'll be all good. Don't worry. Was friendly and kept, I think that because cats are very territorial, I think it preferred this one unit room. And it was like I can see it. It's like, I think I know the actual property, and I can like see this ground floor, and then there's all these stairs where people go up, and then they just open up their door and there's a room. And I think the cat used to just see this one room every time the door would open and think that it could go inside, because the people kept going inside. And so I think she followed the lady into the room. Like, I'm going to just move in because this is mom, because that's how cats think, right? Yeah, they think, well, why, how come everybody else is going in the room but me? The room's right here. I live here. And open door policy, boom, jump in room. And the lady thought to herself, because I could hear her voice thinking, and this was probably happening at the same time we were doing our thing last week. Literally, I could hear the lady thinking in her mind, oh my, this pet needs a home, but I can't take her. She can't live here. And so I literally could hear it in her voice thinking that, oh, she can't live here. I can't take her. I would take her, but kind of like this feeling like I wish I could keep you, but I can't because I can't. I'm a motel person. I live in a motel and you can't live in the motel room. That's how she thought. And so she literally did the kind act of picking it up, and she must have had a car. Because it wouldn't be a homeless person just walking around, managed to surrender the animal to the Humane Society. Yeah. And now she's been spayed, so she's got to stay in the hospital for a few more days. So thank you. Thank you. I know. Oh, poor baby. So it sounds like she was like just thinking like she's just one of the folk. Just open up the door and she'll come walk right in kind of cat. I know. She's like young and and this is another thing, because I put in a request for a black cat. I guess what happened was the machine fixed me up with her because I saw the color on her and they put black because it says primary color black, and I saw her. She has white on her chest and then white on her paws, but they put it in as black, so nobody requested her. Oh my God. So this goes on to the pet shop mentality. I want to talk about this. Okay, so people, all right, so let's say you're a cat, all right, and you, just end up and you're in a pet shop, right? You're a kitten, right? And there you are in a pet shop and you're in your cage with your little brothers and sisters, and you look across the pet shop and there's all the other kitties, and what do you think? You think, look, there's all the other kitties. I want to make friends. Look, there's a pretty black one. Look, there's a pretty white one. Look, this one has stripes. This one has spots. This one's got a tuxedo. I think they're called tuxedo paws or something like that. This one's got mittens. This one's got, and they think of all the beautiful colors and they go, oh, I want to be friends. Your coat is beautiful. And they all show off their beautiful coats. Oh, look at me. I have my stripe. I'm a silver. And so the cats just all love each other, and then they just enjoy the gorgeous beauty of all their variety of gorgeous colors. And then in walks a human. The human goes to the pet shop owner. I want to buy a kitten. The pet shop owner goes, oh, okay, we got kittens galore. We're having a special on black ones. You can have as many as you want for free. We're giving them away. And the person goes, I don't want a black cat. That's bad luck. Okay, this is what I call the pet shop mentality. You notice animals don't do that. It's a human thing. It's a human construct. They actually look at a cat and think it's black. No cat goes around thinking the other cat is black. All they do is, ooh, it's a pretty cat. There's a black one. There's an orange one. This one has stripes. They're not like it's black. Are you following me, guys, on this psychology, this human construct of the quote unquote black syndrome? So the first thing the human comes in and says, I'll take anything as long as it's not black, because black is bad, whatever. Just like that. It's so human. And we're not even talking about racism here. We're talking a pet shop mentality. We're talking about looking at a bunch of cats. And what's the first thing that the customer says? Anything with black, I'll pay you $100 for one that has orange stripes. Fine, boom, sold. But you cannot give away a black cat. Okay, so now let's go to scenario 2, where we upgrade the pet shop mentality. Once again, the human construct. Pet customer number 2 goes into the shop. Guess what? Now it's October 1st. Hi, I'm looking for a black cat. Pet store owner says, we don't sell black cats. It's October. What do you need a black cat for? Oh, I just want a black one. We have all these beautiful white ones. I'll give you a discount. Orange, pink, you name it. No, must be black. Okay. And the pet shop owner's like, we don't sell black cats. It's October. Get out of here. Okay? What does a human need a black cat for? A blood sacrifice. Hello, duh. Okay, now, can you believe? Now, forget about humans. We're talking pets. Pets. A cat. This is how low humans can be. No cat is going to go around looking for a person going, it's October. Can I find one that's black? I'm not kidding. And you know what I'm talking about. Lynching. Because that's how humans think when they go past just the, oh no, black is bad. And they go to the next level. Give me the black. I need it. Yeah, I need it for the tree in front of the Civic Center. I'm not kidding. That's the next level. And I call it the pet shop mentality. I just want to let everybody know that everyone here is not a pet shop person. I know you don't see me. I know you don't see me as that. And if you wanted to know what color I am, just look, it's pink. I'm red. I'm red, baby. In the enneagram on my hieroglyph, my color is red. So why are we going back to garnet? I hope you enjoyed that little rant about the pet shop mentality, okay? Because I just bust people immediately when they've got it. I'm like, oh, you've got pet shop mentality. Nobody here has that. Nobody here. You guys are beautiful. You see me for the intuitive psychic healer that I am, and nobody cares. Because you know what? It starts out with a color, and then it goes to the hairstyle. I saw an op-ed that was like a pro-Trump op-ed, and I swear to God, I couldn't believe it. My eyes just about popped out of my head because the skin tone of the so-called person that you don't want moving next door was alabaster. Okay, it was as fair as mine. And the so-called suburban housewife who doesn't want to be infiltrated by the so-called bad people actually had more skin tone, but she had straight hair. And the person they were warning you that you don't want moving in wasn't dark tone. They had curly hair. They had dark curly hair. So all I have to do is dye my hair black, and I will be considered the undesirable person now to move into the neighborhood. It's like that, okay? And that's how it starts. It starts with a tone, and then it goes to the I need a black cat. It's October mentality. And then it goes to, wait a minute, they have curly hair. They didn't use a hair straightener before they came to work. And they had to literally make a law that they could not keep discriminating against women for not using a hair straightener, because companies were requiring that employees didn't show up with curly hair to work. Like, you're not qualified to go to work because you have curly hair. You don't deserve to have a job. It's, yeah. And then after the hair, it's the you're too old, or you're too young, or your dentistry looks bad. Does this sound like Auschwitz or what, you guys? Need I say it more? But it starts with a pet shop. It starts with the trip to the pet shop. Can you believe that? That's right. Unless you're one of those weird alien people who supposedly lives at the royal family in the UK, I understand they're part lizard. Sorry, but you know, the Pentagon tried to distract us by claiming that there were, they have acknowledged now there was 37 species of known non-humans on planet Earth. They've been hiding it all the time. Yeah, like nobody cares. Can you believe that if that's true, they've been saying that they mustn't ever release the information because there would be a panic and the people would go nuts that they were being invaded. And now you cannot get us to read a post on a UFO right now. Can we, folks? Are we going to fall for that? No, because right now it's spotlight on Louis DeJoy. Okay, guys, so we're going to go back to the Democratic Convention. We're keeping it short tonight. What else do you want to read on? Okay, garnets, you guys, this is it. I'm goofy for garnets. This is the garnet to die for. This rock is $100 at least, just for the rock. You must go to the Smithsonian. You want to see one of these, okay? This is an Umbra. You see that? See how easy it is to get the red out of this one? This is a rare Umbra river garnet from Tanzania. Look at how flippin' red it is. It's extremely rare. These are expensive. You have to go. Oh my God, look at how it glows. No, I can't get this Rajasthan to do that. No way. That's just dark. This thing, you have to go to the Smithsonian to see an Umbra River Valley garnet from Tanzania. There were only 60. There were only 60 found on this one side of this one hill. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God, you guys. Wow. We are going to have to close up early tonight because it's the DNC tonight. Oops, I lost the light. We're going to have to close up early tonight, you guys, so we can go back to the convention. Ooh, Connie, that sounds gorgeous. He sounds gorgeous. Is Trump going to let Barr speak on the 24th? Okay, we'll go through one more question because I'm going to upload that other video in the next couple of days. And yes, your views matter. That's what Kirshner is saying. Kirshner is saying that bombard the Congress with letters about the mail and tell them that you cannot mess with the mail. Don't even talk about the elections or voting. Just say the mail, the mail, the mail. Because we are stopping the military from being able to vote. And the military will not go for that. And when it comes time for the nuclear codes to change over on January, whatever that date is, 20 or 21st, at 1 second after high noon, the military removes the president from the White House, the former president, because at that second he becomes the former president, and he can't claim that we don't know who's the president because there's a thing in the Constitution. Although he breaks the Constitution all the time, at that point it's like, who cares? He's just another citizen breaking the Constitution. So the question is from Kate. Let's see, where's that question? Cats are lucky and smart and cool. We're all red on the inside. Is Trump going to let Barr speak on the 24th? Thank you, Dima. Thank you. Is Barr going to appear? Will Barr appear on the 24th? Oh, man. Oh, the 24th is a big day. Oh, my God. Will Barr appear? Is Trump going to let Barr speak? Well, who cares what Trump thinks? Bottom line, will Barr appear? The question is, will Barr appear? Okay, Trump doesn't, that's probably a no. Yeah, because you know how Barr's co-opted. Okay, there's the tower. All right, so that's Trump in trouble. Is Barr going to appear on the 24th? I think they realize now that Kamala's coming in, they're going to be held accountable once, oh my God, this is not good for Barr. This is yes. I can't believe it. It's not a no. It's his karma. This is the karmic judgment and the judgment and weighing back and forth that Attorney General Barr has to take in his mind to make the decision. Is he going to follow the law, or is he going to continue to be Trump the burning tower of destruction's lapdog, because at this point, he's got to deal with his karmic destiny, because once again, it's a Uranus retrograde and there's no way getting around it. And when Biden comes into office, Barr is going to be in huge trouble if he doesn't start to comply with the United States Constitution and he doesn't appear. This is, oh gosh, you guys. Okay, this is the center of the reading. This means that this is the most important card that you cannot get around. This is us barking needlessly at the moon. What it's saying that regardless of whether or not he appears, it's futile. It's futile. This situation with Barr is just a giant duty duh. It's like his appearance will be an illusion. So it's, yes, he's appearing, but no, he's not gonna. Oh God. Okay, let's continue. That's the center of the reading, is the illusion. But it is him weighing his karma, knowing that when Biden and Kamala he's in big trouble. He's in big trouble when those nuclear codes get switched over on January 20th. This is the recent past. This is the bare naked truth about Attorney General Barr. We all know what he's up to. He can't keep hiding it because everything's out in the open right now. They may not be taking action on it, but Barr has been, in a word, ratted out. Now, I did there were like, who was it? 2,000 Department of Justice letters or whatever. I did that huge video called Whistleblowers Are Onto Barr. And they filed over 2,000 signatures to investigate Barr. This is Adam Schiff. Yes, right now the spotlight is on the majority House Speaker in Congress. Everything's all about Congress. Okay, so what this is saying is Barr can't get past Adam Schiff right now. He can't. Oh, Barr. This is the prosperity of the United States, the Queen of Pentacles. Attorney General Barr is messing with the vote. It's also the vote because right now data and votes is more important than money. It's also lives. This is Attorney General Barr holding the votes of the United States in his hand, Mr. Control Freak. All right, so I have to admit, this is not a straight up yes, no. He's having to determine his fate. If he appears, he will appear to cooperate as an illusion because we know the naked truth about him. Hey, man, this truth has come out that Barr is in on the Khashoggi thing. I don't say his name properly. There's gonna be huge news in January. He's under scrutiny by Schiff, and in the end, he's holding the votes. He's messing with the votes. Will Barr appear on the 24th? Will Barr appear on the 24th? The reverse Knight of Swords. The reverse Burning Tower. And a reverse Five of Pentacles. It doesn't say yes, you guys. A reverse Knight of Swords means he's not coming to do the right thing. The Justice Department is not coming to save us. The DOJ is not upholding justice. Like I said, why? Because Trump is more than burning his cook. He's a cook goose. And we know Barr's the key element for Trump. But you know what? This is being left out. Barr can't take it. He can't. Okay, this is voter suppression. When you turn it upside down, this is voter suppression. So Barr will do whatever he can to interfere with the election to save his own, you know what, at this point. Oh, man. That's right. Ocean, over 2,000 former DOJ officials demanded Barr's resignation. Yeah, well, he's not going to resign, I can tell you right now. My predictions are super accurate, and Mitch McConnell's holding his seat. Amy McGrath is not taking him out. However, Lindsey Graham does not look good. Okay, you guys, it's focused on Congress right now. I love that everybody's here instead of the boob tube. This is great. Does anyone have some more questions? Okay, so Kate, we're talking about Barr appearing on the 21st and also Congress reconvening on the 24th. Excuse me, the number is the 24th, 1 week from today. That's why I like doing Minerals Monday Live. Now, please, everyone, I want to let you know, spoiler alert, this is the last summer edition, Goofy for Gardens. I need to actually relocate, okay, because we're moving the cat and everything into a huge new domicile and everything. And so when we reconvene in September, we're going to move the time earlier so it's not so sleepy, okay, so we can meet earlier in the day in the fall in September. And I think our next date is probably September 14th, because 14 is our number, guys. The week prior is a holiday, Labor Day, so everybody's going to be out partying. So don't go on YouTube on Labor Day. Go to the beach, whatever. Socially distanced. Okay, so last but not least, I want to reread this because it was from the beginning. That once again, this is for you entertainment purposes. YouTube, I want to let you know that yes, I have 5 certifications in holistic medicine. I am certified and I am allowed to speak about coronaviruses in canines. And they are common because canines are a vector species. That is not the same as being a vector. When they talk about children being a vector, that means they can pass it to grown-ups without being sick themselves. That does not make children a vector species. Dogs and other species like, bats, some snakes, it's also not just mammals, are vector species for a coronavirus, which means they do not carry the RDA in the RNA sequencing of their genome species in order for the pathogen, aka the germ or the icky thing, to replicate, because viruses do not grow, they replicate by pulling from the subatomic structure of the host. And the only way it can do that is if the genome RDA in the RNA sequencing is compatible on a zoonotic disease transmission protocol, which means if your dog has coronaviruses, which it's going to have, and there are thousands of coronaviruses that mutate and reform every day, like they're everywhere, I do not think that it is a wise choice to have a aspiration to rid the planet of all germs, because it would affect the ecosystem. Coronaviruses have their place, just like bacteria and fungus, even though they're nasty to humans. But you cannot catch coronavirus from a dog, and you cannot give COVID-19 to your pet. A thing. And this is your best attitude about having toward the cure. All right. And I'm going to read this because this is from the doctorate in the local newspaper out of Portland. There has never been a vaccine for any kind of coronavirus. And as a side note, the SARS vaccine trials were 100% CFR, which means that everyone who went for a vax trial for the SARS epidemic did not survive. It was 100% fatal. Current reports suggest that if a vaccine is developed for COVID-19, it will likely not be available to anyone until sometime next year at the earliest. It would likely not be available to everyone until much later. And that may be the good news. Okay? So we're talking the end of 2021 before it's for general distribution. The bad news is that it is unclear whether the vaccine against COVID would provide any ongoing immunization. This is evident to anyone who has had a cold before, since colds are caused by a coronavirus. And I will say, as a 5-time certified Bowen therapist and canine veterinary technician, coronaviruses mutate daily. There are thousands of them on the planet at any time. The WHO, World Health Organization, receives 300 to 400 requests for a worldwide pandemic daily. And it is not ever been studied what would be the long-term harmful effects to the ecosystem if all coronaviruses were to be eliminated from planet Earth. Therefore, I, as your certified advanced Bowen therapist, advise you not to have that as a wish, dream, or hope. Okay? It's so easy to manage a coronavirus, you guys. There's thousands of them, and they will continue to mutate. And therefore, when a vaccine is developed and tested per the FDA protocols for the United States of America and is ready for general distribution in 2021, it will most likely not be effective as a cure for COVID-19. It will be used for some ulterior motive. All right, and that's my professional opinion. All right, does anyone else have any questions about politics? And sorry to be so bold about it, but it's important for people to understand how common it is and how easy it is to get rid of if you just take the most minuscule precautions. That's a general coronavirus. And I'm not going to speak specifically of the COVID-19. That is actually a patent and not a thing. One other fun fact is, you know those pictures where they show you of that icky spiky thing? That's a 3D model. It's not a thing. It's a 3D model of an exosome. Does anyone know what an exosome is? Think of it like dandruff. It's like little particles that shed off of a biological system. You shed an exosome. So if a human doesn't have exosomes, that means that you would be like that scary, freaky alien man whose skin never peels off, and you just, by the time you were my age, you would probably not even fit into this room because you would have so many dead skin cells encased around you that you wouldn't even be able to live anymore. And you would just be a giant dead skin piece that's 80 years old or whatever. I'm not kidding. Think of it like dandruff. If you don't shed your exosomes, where are they going? Exactly. Everyone has them. You breathe them out. You wash them out of your hair. They fall off your skin. Yeah, that you eliminate them, whatever, in your system, the whole thing. Okay, so we'll take one more political question and let's go over the energetics of garnet. Garnet is the warrior stone, and we got to have another look at the Umbra River garnet from Tanzania because the fire in this stone is so passionate, I can't even stand it. Why is garnet the warrior stone? Because it brings us back to base survival. Okay, here we go. It brings us back. It's flashing. Whoa, here we go. It brings us back to our survival instincts. There it goes. And our root family, there it goes. Oh my God, it's beaming Beaming, beaming. Whoa, there's some purple, orange, red, fiery. Wow, look at that. Oh, you see that little side facet? Oh, there's a little, there it goes. It's like purple on this one side. Oh, this is an Umbra River garnet from the river valley in Tanzania. You can only see one if you go to the Smithsonian. There were only 60 rocks given to this jeweler, and I have 2 of them, and they're each over a carat a piece, which makes these rocks very valuable. I mean, just to get them wholesale direct from the mine, they're over $100 a rock. Oh, the purple. Yeah, it has multicolors. It had that yellow, gold, red, orange, kind of a medium red, and then there was that flash of purple like right on the side. So the warrior stone. And then someone, I would love a question, a political question. Thank you, Gma. Oh yeah, I wouldn't take any Russian. Excuse me. As a professional Bowen therapist, I would not take any vaccine that doesn't go through the proper prior trial testing. So I don't want to go against any manufacturer who develops a vaccine. I'm saying from a professional standpoint, you will increase your safety and knowledge by doing the research with each company, because there's Moderna, I know in the United States, is already applying for trials because trials are starting here. That doesn't follow FDA full trial protocol, and it takes 18 months to develop, and it must be developed from the antibodies. And from the donor blood. So they have to have the proper antibodies. Now, you have to understand that each region that gets hit with a mutation in a different time is a different mutation and timeline. For example, they could not trace any mutation in the United States in January back to the original mutation in Wuhan. They said it was a minimum of 8 generations before they could even get it on one of the ships and bring it over to the United States. So I think by the time it hit in March in California, it was already to mutation past 34. It's different on New York than it is in California. So if there's a vaccine that's taken from antibodies from a region such as Russia, then the donors are going to have antibodies for a mutation strain for that region. That's why it's not a good idea, and it has nothing to do with racism or you're down on Russia. It's 2 reasons. Number one, you want to, in order for the immunization to be effective, it needs to be as close to the mutation of the strain which you could potentially be exposed to. Because the concept of getting a shot already after you already got it, that scientifically is weak. You should, in theory, already be immune if you already had it, but that's not been proven, so we cannot say definitively. So don't take a tiny little piece out of context of that statement. Follow the whole thought process through, okay? Remember, what's scientific and is factual is that each strain mutates. So by the time you get an immunization for a mutation that's been gone through trials and testing, if the antibodies were taken from a donor and a mutation from, let's say, August 2020, well, if they're already starting trials, they would have had antibodies from people from like February or March. Because it takes 6 months to go through the first set of replication, not trials, they're like experiments. They have to replicate. They're not growing this stuff in a petri dish, guys. They're replicating. That's right. It's not a fungus. It's not a bacteria. It's a virus. Yeah, and those are exosomes that we shed. And so when they put up the 3D models, that's not a thing. It's a 3D model of an exosome. So if you didn't shed your exosomes, you would be, think of it like dandruff. Your whole body be just like, you'd be the scaly monster creep. It'd be like totally impossible. It'd be like a snake that never shed its skin. You got to shed. And it's literally called viral particle shedding. Okay, and not every exosome is a germ. It's just dandruff. You don't catch anything from somebody's dandruff particle. Yeah, it's dirty and you need to clean it up. Okay, Jima's going off on something. Yeah, it's not that I like Prince Andrew. He's not one of my royal friends. Let's just put it that way. He's only 1 degree removed, but I don't care to meet him. He supposedly caught it and used homeopathy and got better. Now, homeopathy is one of a school of holistic medicine. One of my schools for the therapeutics for equine is all through the UK. So I'm with the British Institute of Complementary Medicine. And so the Queen, just put out a message to others that Prince Andrew used homeopathy. He did test positive and he got all better. And he's my age, So he ain't young. So he did okay. Aw, and then let's continue to send prayers to my uncle and my dad because my dad's losing his last sibling tonight. It's sad for my dad. Aw, poor dad. Poor Alexia's dad. He's having a rough week. And it is the Uranus retrograde. And just so you know, 14 is the number. It is the number. So we'll re-meet on September 14th at an earlier time. Well, let's do 1400 GMT, so that'd be like 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and the garnet is the warrior stone because there is literally no other rock in your collection that will send you straight back to your root to just make things happen. It is going to manifest. I use it specifically for blood chemistry, for opening up blood flow, arteries, healing wounds, incisions, pulmonary, urinary tract, menstrual conditions. It's very good for all blood related things. Blood clot, it will help with aneurysm, all of that to keep that flow going. Okay, yes, thank you, Zelda. Question: can you ask who will take Harris's place at the Senate? Oh, okay, let's look at the characteristics of who's going to replace Senator Harris' position. I am super not up on her because she's in a different district in California than myself. I do know she has a ton. I know Senator Harris has a ton of prosecutorial skills and that she had like a program for rehabilitation. But I have to be honest, she's a wolf in sheep's clothing. She's not going to be good for the race wars. Kamala Harris is going to incite more race war because she's not going to be addressing the needs of people who are identified by people who look at others as though they're in a pet shop. Now, I know we don't do that, but others do. And I learned a new word. It's called identificism. Did you guys hear about that word? Actually, it's marketing. What it is each and every op-ed is specially made so that you identify it. Vote for Joe because you're an old white guy. Vote for Trump because you're a Dixie. You like the Confederate flag and you want to be able to wave it. Vote for Kamala because you identify as being Black. Okay. And that's why they're saying they're putting out marketing now. And so I saw some BS marketing that was targeted for me because they consider me to be like a white, because they think of me as white. Okay. I hate to say it, but the effing advertisement pet shopped me and identified me as someone who is white, and said that if you watch this ad, it will appeal to you because we consider you a target audience of being a white woman. And what the ad said is, if you vote for Joe Biden, this person's going to move next door. You're going to have this person for your neighbor. And the person that they put up, I identified with as white because I looked at their skin tone and it was alabaster white. And the person who was supposed to be the suburban housewife who wants to keep the trash out of their neighborhood, this is so sick, you guys. It was so sick. Yeah, I could not identify with that person. And I was targeted in as an ad. And they're trying to target suburban housewives, saying if you vote for Joe Biden, there's going to be, I hate to say it, but the N-word moving in next door. And the picture of the N family was alabaster white skin tone. All they had was curly hair that looked dark curly hair. That was it. Just don't let the dark curlies move in. Don't let the curly tops move in next door. There goes the neighborhood. Sick. So just so you know, there's a tip that says if you get an ad that looks like that, say, I don't want to see this ad. And then they'll ask you why. And you say inappropriate. Inappropriate. Meaning it's offensive. It straight up was a racist. It wasn't even racist. It was eugenicist. It wasn't even racist. It's like, oh, don't let the people with that color hair move in. Yeah. With the curly hairs. Don't let the curly hairs move in. Yeah. It's actually beyond racist because it goes to eugenics. And I've been watching this guy who talks about the eugenics in Europe, and it was not a race war. They didn't have any Africans to have a race war against. The Bolsheviks and the Mussolinis, which is actually my natural heritage because they were immigrants. They came through Germany, but my relatives were not German. They were being, I think they were politically exiles because they were being targeted by Bolsheviks and the Mussolini, the pre-Mussolini movement at the turn of the century. We're talking 18th to 19th century here, guys. Late 1800s. Yeah. Late 1700s, early 1800s. They immigrated out of the Bolshevik era, which is south of the Swiss Alps. They had to go just like the Sound of Music, only we left sooner and we headed north, and then we intermixed with the Germanics and the Druids. Yeah, and that's when they smuggled us over in a ship to America sometime like 1850 something, or that's where my actual immigrant, yeah, like it turned out that there were 9 of them, but they were only allowed to bring in 8, so they had to smuggle the last one in, a side of a set of blankets. And I'm surprised that one didn't smother and die because they would smother a lot of the babies. It turns out that they wouldn't keep the babies when they immigrated because they would cry, and they couldn't, but they could smuggle them in. So one of them was smuggled. Yeah, one of them was smuggled in. The little baby in a set of blankets. It could have suffocated real easily, but that's one of them. Everybody else was legit. Yay. But one of them, there was just too many, and they're like, oh, so we can only fit 8 and you're not so they, wow. Sneaky, you guys, fitting that last baby in the package. Okay, so the question. Did we get to the question? I get so roundabout. It was Kate's question. Did I even read on it? I'm such a ditz. No. Bar? Okay, the bar question. No. It will be an illusion if he shows up. because he won't cough up the goods. He will take advantage of us because he will only do it if he thinks in the end he gets the Queen of Pentacles, which means it's in his favor to get more votes for Trump. That's the only reason he'd show up. Yeah, because believe it or not, Trump wants our votes now. Oh, God. Okay, so once again, we've been up for about 90 minutes, and it's been a lot of chit-chat tonight, and not a lot of card throwing, but let's get back to the actual Democratic convention. And I want to thank everyone in advance for all the beautiful prayers you're going to send to my dad this week, because my dad will really appreciate all those prayers, because he's going to have to pray hard this week. And I'm so glad that my uncle's going to heaven, because he was good in the end. He had to repent and make good on a lot of bad choices, but he did. He made the right choice, and he went to live in an ashram for over a decade to purge his choices so that he could be the right thing. Because as I mentioned, people who are raised with this Bolshevik background, which I have, some of us didn't have the benefit of being born at this time. And so if it was 100 years ago they were born into a time where they were taught to be racist. And some of my elder family members went that way. But the youngest, who is my father, he was the youngest of the children. He didn't go that way. He did not go that way because he met my mom, and my mom helped him not to be that way because she believed something else. So that was really good, that all people are sacred. All life is sacred. Yeah. And my mom taught me not to be afraid of people who were different. So I'm like, oh, cool. You don't look like me. Yay. Let's meet and be friends. So I'm lucky, because when I was like 5 years old, I remember coming up to my mom, because I'm a very intelligent person. I was like super advanced. And I asked my mom, Mommy, what's the word xenophobe? What is a xenophobia? I learned a new word. And today I learned that new word. What's it called? Identitarianism, where they give you an advertisement so that they can get your vote because they think you are going to vote for somebody who looks like them. So if you're Black, vote for me. That attitude. If you're Black, vote for me. Even if I take away your civil rights, even if I totally mess you up, don't vote. But, go by the Martin Luther King. There will be a day when the person is not judged by the color of their skin, but by the character. By their character. Don't judge the person by don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, these are the kind of things that we want to be helping because this channel is loaded with people of high conscious value. These are the kind of mottos we want to share around town now. And like I said, that Uranus retrograde is about reunification. We are reunifying America. We're all voting together for whomever we want on a secret ballot. Okay, and we want to assure voter rights because we have voter suppression. It's blatant. So we want to welcome and include others because let's face it, the Democrats are taking over and we don't want to act mean to other people who didn't vote for Biden. We want to welcome them back into a happier time because right now everybody's miserable. It's ridiculous. I mean, in my religion, it basically says this, and I will end on this note. First of all, if you have to pick any rock, get a garnet. They're not overly expensive. There's like 10 different kinds. They come in green, tangerine. Demontoid is super expensive. It's like $1,000 a carat, and it's like a screaming green. And lime green is Zavarite. There's tangerine garnet. Buy a garnet. Purchase a garnet. This garnet, which is huge, like from Rajasthan, India, is probably only like $10 wholesale. Okay. And it's huge. It's like almost 3 carats. Okay. So you can buy bags of rocks. You can just like, boom. If you want to pick any rock, go for garnet. Go for garnet because it's the warrior stone. It's going to heal your path of service as the warriors because we are the healers. We're paving the way. We're paving the road for others to give up the pet shop mentality. Get a garnet. It will cleanse, clarify, and help with all your blood. You can literally feel it like I am coursing right now. My blood, look at how like whew, I have to take these off. They're literally so moving my blood that I'm like, okay, done with the show. Take off the garnet. Sorry, I popped the mic. Okay, so that's the number one thing. So, and the number two thing that we're going to focus on with the motto is we are here to help others drop their pet shop mentality because we don't have it. So remind them not to judge a book by its cover. Vote for your candidate of choice based on their character and their platform. Don't vote for me because I'm Black. That'd be the Kanye West platform. Vote for me. I'm Black. Kanye West, No. Yeah, vote for your candidate of choice, and we're going to have to work together to hold Louis DeJoy accountable and get Congress back in session for an emergency session on the 24th. We need to absolutely speak out about it on every channel, and we are reunifying during the time of Uranus, and that goes all the way to January 14th. Oh, Zelda, I know, but Zelda says that unfortunately in her family, she has a pet shop mentality also, and they all talk horribly disgusting. And yes, they all realize we do not have the pet shop mentality. And just remember with compassion that the elder generations are going to have more of that conditioning during growing up, and that the younger people aren't buying the pet shop mentality, you guys. All right, so we'll just set the tone that remember the quality of the candidate and their platform is who we're voting for. Yeah. Yes, and thank you for acknowledging that it actually takes real soul work to unattach to that is not a simple thing to get rid of, Zelda. It is not easy to get rid of pet shop mentality if it's been in your family for generations. Those guys running around with the Confederate flags are lacking the character. They're lacking their character to... Okay, and this is what I say to the other channels who owe me an apology, because there's been some other channels gaslighting this channel and some of my other really high-end channels. It takes a big man. This is my amber, my Baltic amber. It takes a big man to admit they were wrong. To say, I made a mistake. Someone like Susan Collins and those other senators who did not vote for the removal of President 45, they're going to have to pay directly to their karma and their karmic destiny and their judgment, which oversees Attorney General Barr. Whether or not he testifies honestly or upholds the United States Constitution, he will be held accountable, not necessarily by man, but by the judgment of God. And that's why the high priestess rules over the AG Barr reading. Each individual is being held to our karmic destiny during this time of the Uranus retrograde between now and January 14th, when everything changes with the nuclear codes on the 20th. That's right. So let's focus on living by example. And thank you, everyone, for accepting and loving me for who I am. That's right. I appreciate it. And I absolutely love all the gorgeous variety of human beings. I want to meet you all. I'm like one of those happy cats. And yes, we're going to have a new cat soon. I want to call her Channel Cat, after the famous racehorse who won many races. We'll call her Channel Cat. Yes. Thank you for acknowledging all the hard work that myself and my uncle, who is going to heaven now, has done to release ourselves from that horrible karmic past of living a pet shop mentality. But remember that the Koch brothers and Epstein, all those are accountable not by human. There's human accountability, and then there's godly accountability. And I'm telling you guys, if you've ever had a chance, the people are a lot nicer to the humans than God. If God's going to cut you down, it's just going to be like a whack. The people are going to be a lot softer on you if you repay your crime through the justice system and just do your time. Attorney Barr and President Trump, all you guys who are all getting, held accountable in January with the new administration, Kamala is all going to take you out. But this is the thing. When you're a criminal and you are a bigger man or a better woman, you admit to making a mistake and you will serve your time in prison. That's right. And that is the softer, easier way to go. The karmic judgment of God is, you're damned for eternity, honey. That's it. You made the cause. And that you don't want that for anyone. You don't want that for anyone. And so it is an act of compassion to send these people to prison. It is an act of compassion to allow them to expiate their karma during this lifetime because their karma is so huge. It is their benefit, is their opportunity to look themselves in the mirror when they wake up in the morning inside of their cell. Just like G-Max is inside of her cell. It is her opportunity to serve her time. And she needs to sit there for a whole year and think about it because she hurt a lot of people and destroyed a lot of lives. And I think they also literally took a lot of people's lives, literally, a lot of them. And money, and it's huge. Being held accountable to man is the easy way. Being held accountable to the God, to your gods, that means in the Nefertiti and the Egyptian culture, that means when you pass to the nether world, you go to the underworld and then you get to look up to us instead of looking down at us from heaven. You get to look up from below. Yeah, exactly. Where Epstein is right now. Yeah, you'll be joining Jeff in his. It is widely believed that he did die. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And remember, put together your budget for your stones. I'm not selling stones, so that's not what this channel is about. I'm here to help you understand the energetics and choosing your rocks. And I will say, you want bang for your buck, go for the garnet. You want to not spend tons of money and get your result and manifest everything you want in your life, go for the garnet. Go for tangerine, go for zavarite, and demontoid you'll need to save up for. It's extremely, look at how these flash. Look at this. Look at how flashy these are. And this is so rare, sorry, but there's none to buy. You'll have to go to the Smithsonian. There it goes, my Umbra River garnet. Very rare. I'm goofy for garnets. Thank you, Ocean, for your inspiration. Thank you, Kate, for all your love and quality, setting an example of how human beings should be. Every now and then, the goddess just gets it right, and Kate is a perfect example. And Jima, for your wonderful questions and your wonderful participation. Zelda, yes, I acknowledge you for doing the work to let go of that dynamic. That's huge. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Cartomancy. Thank you, viewers. And it will be a few weeks before we reconvene. So I'll see you tomorrow at the Queen's Tarot for the Z Queen. I'm her moderator on her channel. And thank you, everybody. Thank you. Love to all. Namaste. Like I said, your bang for your buck is the warrior stone. It will protect you, give you the strength, and get the job done. It's a manifester to the max. And it will help with your blood. Okay, your blood. And it's the manganese, the red one. Yeah, and it's the chromium in the green ones. Yeah, the green ones. And there's tangerines. Oh, man. Oh, and serpentine. Oh, my God. The fanciest of all garnets is this one called seraphim, except for this one. This is the absolute best of all. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Bye. See you on the 14th of September.